Okay, man. Thanks for joining me again. This is Mike. Yet today I have I guess it's a short thing on John Farnham through 60 Minutes Australia. Did a piece on him called The Voice, and this was requested by Shieldsy. Thanks, brother, for the request. I've reacted to several John Farnham's videos now, so I know a little bit about him. However, this probably will shed more enlightenment because it says how John Farnham found his legendary voice. So yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. So let me bring it up here so everybody can see what I'm looking at. And I just want to say, if you hadn't hit that subscribe button, the like button, and made a comment, please consider doing so. Again, it helps the algorithm get this out to more people. Okay? All right, man. Without further delay, let's get into The Voice. Make sure I'm on the right path here, and I am. So, all right, let's get into it, y'all.
The cleaning lady to just cleaned out and sad, to the voice that climbed back to the top of the charts. A lot of us have grown up with Johnny Farnham and shared with him the peaks and hollows of an extraordinary career. Huge in the 60s and 70s, almost broke in the early 80s. Now in the 90s, as just plain John Farnham, he's a sort of elder statesman of song. He and manager Glenn Wheatley have been up and down more times than the warble in that famous Farnham voice.
Seemed like the right thing till I watched you go. Seemed like the right thing, but I lost control.
At 44, he has the lines of the rock and roll life all over his face. But Whispering Jack still packs a voice that can blow them away.
Out in the darkness, I saw a light. And now I know.
Thank God I got that bit right.
There are young fellas out there, gunslingers. You're a gunslinger. And there are young fellas that would like to outdo. Yeah, outdo you.
Yeah, yeah, it seemed like a good idea. Seemed like a good idea at that time.
A new song, a new album, and this is the video shoot. John Farnham seems to do it all so easily because of that voice. Who taught you to sing?
I really never had any lessons. I think it came from my granddad and my father. And I mean, at family, my granddad was a real character. You know, he was the one who always ended up with the the lampshade on his head at a party every time, or he'd tap dance, or he'd get out his piano accordion, which he taught himself, or he'd play the piano, which he played by ear.
So even at 10, though, you were this little ham putting the lampshade on your head?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I've always been a show-off. I mean, typical 10-year-old kid, but I tend to like a bit of attention. Yeah, I don't think that's big enough. I don't think the sound big enough, it's not fat, you know.
For the past 6 months, John's been cooped up in the studio. He's had a hand in writing most of the songs and has co-produced the album.
Yeah. Not the technique thing, it's just right, it is. It's just what's happening.
This album is significantly different from the last studio album. And I think it's the best album I've ever made. Whether it is successful remains to be seen. But it is as good as I get now. I can't do any better at this point in time. It's got everything I've got to give it. And that's a self-preservation thing.
When he escapes the studio, Whispering Jack goes home on the range.
Get him! Come on!
He's a cowboy at heart and has as much fun in the saddle as he does on stage.
John, get him. Barbecue time.
Oh, you bastard.
Away from the crazy world of rock and roll, it's Jill Farnham, John's wife of more than 20 years, who has kept his life together. You were a singer and she was a dancer. How did you meet?
We were in a show together called Charlie Girl, and Gillian was coming out of the theatre and I saw her. And at that stage she had very long dark hair down to her very petite bum at that stage. And I was history. And I worked, well, gee, I reckon it took me about 3 months to get a kiss. And then we started to go out together and sort of naturally, it naturally happened. It was just something that happened.
Mind you haven't got much hair anymore.
Now that's unkind. In public, don't talk about my hair like that.
You love that hairdryer, love. You'll whip in there and borrow the horse's hairdryer. Off you go.
They're happy together, high in the saddle. Even when John's career took a dive in the early 80s, they stayed partners.
You know, I don't think there's anything that puts more of a strain on a relationship than financial problems. And there are a lot of people out there that are going through this time at the moment. And you know, it's very, very, very hard because you tend to blame each other, I would think.
How broke were you?
Pretty broke. I mean, I was that close to having I had to sell everything. I had to sell my house and my car. And we didn't have terribly much to begin with.
There was a time when John Farnham desperately needed help with his career.
Madonna's coming in, Michael Jackson, U2.
His old friend Glenn Wheatley, a musician turned rock manager, suggested John join the Little River Band. LRB had made it big, but the voice never seemed to fit in here. The crowds and the critics hated the whole idea. Was joining Little River Band the one bit of bad advice that your great mate gave you?
No. I don't think I could do what I'm doing now if it wasn't for my time with Little River Band. It grew me up. It really grew me up, you know. It made my attitude to what I do get serious. Oh, here are the girls.
Don't stand up, boys.
Thank you so
No,
much.
please sit.
The Farnhams, John and Jill, and the Wheatleys, Glenn and Gaynor, are like family.
He doesn't like losing, let me tell you. He doesn't like losing. He doesn't like coming second or third, does he, Jill?
No, he doesn't.
No. Particularly if you're second and he's third.
No.
No, you were third, I was fourth.
John, you didn't even get a score, love. You actually broke pattern. You had no idea. You lost your hat, the lot. They only gave you equal third with me to shut you up.
They've been friends through some incredible highs and depressing lows. Lost deals, business collapses, and burnt fingers. How many times have you saved one another's butt?
Well, I mean, he got me, Butte, when I did Whispering Jack. I mean, you mortgaged your house for that album, didn't you?
He sold it, actually, John.
Yeah. That was a big one.
Why did you keep backing him?
I mean, mainly because I believe in him. And mostly because he's my friend.
And Glenn, when John couldn't get a record deal, what made you believe that he had the talent when a lot of other people didn't think he had it?
I just think that John, through not a good advice, just lost a little bit of direction. He never lost his talent.
Whispering Jack, the comeback album, is the biggest selling Australian record of all time.
Yeah, you know, I'll back that up just a little bit. Just watching this interview or this documentary, I guess, biography, whatever you want to call it, about Whispering Jack or John Farnham, it opens your eyes to what these guys, even as talented as he is, show business is not it's not a good thing. It's like I tell people all the time, about bad news on the news, and especially if it concerns somebody that I'm close with, being disparaged in the press some form or fashion, just wait a week, man, and there'll be different news. And I think that's how, you know, you have to look at the show business. You know, you're on top of the world one day, man, and then, like he said, they're come gunning for you, and some young guy or gal comes along, and she's or he's the next best thing, and you just kind of throw away these guys who paid their dues and who have made you tons and tons of money. But for him to stick with it, like Tom Jones did, like Engelbert Humperdinck did, and John Farnham, and probably Barnesy, and just a whole bunch of other names that no longer fill stadiums. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but you know, no longer fill stadiums. They fill, you know, theaters maybe, or what have you, or even smaller venues than that. They're still every bit as good as they were when they started out. But you have these execs who tell you who you need to listen to, and you just swallow it hook, line, and sinker. So I'm glad to see that he stuck it out, and you know, what a friend to sell his house because he believed in John so much, and John's wife. This is a pretty good interview or documentary, whatever it is. This is pretty good information, man, that you don't normally see about these artists. So, yeah, man, Schultzy, thanks for the request, man. Let's get back into it and finish this thing out. Here we go.
Of all time. It was the turning point, and it won John respect and true affection. In our bicentennial year, the country's highest honour, bestowed on a man who sees himself as an ordinary bloke.
Australia does deserve national pride. We are right. Hang on. Whew. We are right to instill national pride in our children. But please, let's make our national pride encompass humanity. Thank you very much indeed.
What do you think that we saw and knew that made the country nominate Farnham for Australian of the Year in the bicentennial year?
Maybe for my tenacity. I'm fairly tenacious, and I like to... I persevere, I guess. And I don't think there's anything wrong with perseverance. I really believe that if you want something bad enough and if you want to succeed, no matter what you do, if you put in, you will gain a return.
If you had to, you'd sing in clubs or a pub?
Anyway, I'll sing anywhere. Anytime. I get a bit gamer in the shower than I do anywhere else. You know, I try stuff that I wouldn't dream of trying anywhere else. Familiar faces fill my mind.
Good, right on the
and my words burn back in time. It's a lyric thing.
Gympie, Queensland. The band is jammed into a caravan, about to do their bit at a benefit for drought-stricken farmers.
Right. Good help.
Right.
Have a good ball. Hee-haw.
Somehow these don't clink the same.
Yeah, it's not quite the same, the polyurethane.
It's the shadow tonight.
When it rained, when it came down in buckets at Gympie, did that put a smile on your face?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did. I must admit. Because my band and my crew call me the rain god. You know.
2, 3, 4.
One shot in a revolution, one drop from a poison pit, one fruit too small to fit, one tree too proud to bear.
In the Farnham family, this benefit for the battling farmers is a cause close to the heart.
Some action, one link in a chain reaction.
There's people out there that are really suffering, you know, and if we can help them in that much and get some, feed to those farmers for their stock or the food in the kids' mouths. I mean, that's a little bit of a payback.
Having had to sell off everything you had, does it make you feel for the farmers who at the moment are selling up the dirt from underneath them?
Yeah, it makes me feel for anyone who's having any kind of financial hardship, or, but I guess particularly at the moment the farmers, because it's not going to happen. They're finished. It's over. We're losing our farming community, seriously losing it, and we will never gain a lot of it. And it's a very sad thought.
Hang on now.
To try to cheer them up in the bush, John will even give them their old favourite, no matter how many times he's sung it before.
Well, you start it and I'll finish it. Go. Oh, good. You know the words then?
I mean, I love Sadie. I've actually made a rod for my own back, all those gags. Oh no, nick off, do all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to sing it.
But she's the old flame.
Yeah. And it's look, Sadie's part of the reason I'm around.
Sadie, I feel like Rob Harris. Am I singing, you bastards?
I was telling a couple of the guys before, I'm not really a cool person. I don't have a cool bone in my body. I can't pretend I'm not enjoying myself, It's sort of, I'm not really cool. I honestly go out there as if it's the last chance I get. I really am lucky, And I mean, I get paid to do what I love to do, And I mean, how lucky is that?
An ordinary bloke with an extraordinary voice. When you think about it, that's a lot to be thankful for.
Good night, Gimpy. Thank you very much. Be good, be careful. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, what a super nice story they did on John Farnham. Seems like you guys got a real genuine guy down there with John, and I hope nothing but the best for him and his family, and for the rest of y'all as well. We have farmers that have issues up here as well, and it takes a nation to pull together sometimes to help these guys who feed us. And I think he's doing a great thing. Okay, I'm not going to say a whole lot, man. That was a long interview, so you guys don't need me to sit here and recap what y'all just saw. You guys know who you have down there and how nice of a guy John Farnham is. And I'm going to continue reacting to John Farnham songs as they come along too. So lucky me and lucky you guys. Okay, man, that's going to do it for me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment, man. It like I said, it helps the algorithm. So let's go right into the outro, and I'll see y'all on the next one. But until I see y'all again, I'll catch you down the road. Bye, y'all.